What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one I want to break down what's happening with Tesla SPY and a couple of other tickers. I want to break down some big earnings that just came out, but you should be watching for Tesla stock as we're approaching earnings as well for it, and what you should be watching for on the charts as well for Tesla SPY and the others. But let me just mention that I am not a financial planner. Make sure you take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link. If you deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed 15 in total. The offer ends in just about 8 days from now. Anyways, for Tesla, we're actually trying to see this nice little inverse head and shoulders like structure play out. We're approaching this resistance over here around this 258 area, which I think Tesla could reach. But then the question is, will Tesla get a rejection from there or not? Honestly, guys, even if Tesla does push a bit, even if it does get some kind of rejection, it doesn't really matter as much to me because the real move is going to come once earnings come out after the market closes for today. So I wouldn't really worry too much about what Tesla ends up doing for now. I would just be very, very careful with it, if anyways. But now I'm going to talk more about some news and such before I break down the charts. So as a reminder, we'll actually start off with this. Today, Tesla has earnings after the market closes. Also, so does Google/Alphabet. That's going to be very important. Tesla's going to be a very, very big one, causing a big ripple effect on the markets, not to mention the entire EV sector. And many other chip stocks can be affected by this too. So I can't wait to see what Tesla ends up announcing. On top of this, don't forget that today, just in the morning, we had Spotify, UPS, GM, and Coca-Cola. GM actually did relatively well, far exceeding the second quarter estimates. Once again, very, very bullish news, and they're planning on restructuring the struggling Chinese business. That's something worth noting. So they absolutely beat on EPS, they beat on revenue. We also saw the share prices up quite a bit, so that's not bad whatsoever. Also, net income is up about 14.8% from a year earlier, so not bad whatsoever. On top of this, Coca-Cola has also topped estimates. It's also hiked its full year outlook as global demand rises. That's some more bullish news. They beat on EPS, beat on revenue, and we continue to see some nice growth with strong guidance. Good news for Coca-Cola. Now, as far as Tesla goes, I just want to mention to everyone that so far is popping, pushing, approaching its earnings event. But once we see earnings, there's no telling what's going to happen. We have to wait to see what Elon Musk ends up announcing. If they make any claims about the robo-taxi, that's what investors are going to be listening to. I can't wait to see what Elon Musk ends up saying, what we hear about it, and if we get any dates for the next robo-taxi event. I'm also going to be listening to what they say about their robotics and any AI developments and other factors like that, which is going to be very important. This is going to be very, very huge as well, so I can't wait to see how it goes. And also, Musk is going to say, a lot of things about, his claims on politics and such. So that's going to be very insightful, in my opinion. I can't wait for this aftermarket close. On top of this, there's some news coming out about how Tesla is once again obtaining an exemption for the Cybertruck from Transport Canada ahead of the launch. And those seem to be one of the two of the main markets, so it's Canada and the US. There were some Teslas being registered in Europe. So far, it's not approved by the EU in every regard, but some parts of Europe still have Cybertrucks coming out. Not as massive of a market, of course, but it is something very cool. They could see more expansions there, more sales, and now we're continuing to see this growth that's going on once again in the US and Canada. I also want to mention to everyone over the fact that there could be launches in other markets coming out where there's high demand for pickups. So I can't wait to see what else they end up announcing. But this is some interesting looking news so far. I also want to note that Tesla has a large comeback that's being made, a $386 billion comeback, as Musk is elevating AI over EVs. That's actually some very, very important news. You guys can see right over here, there's been quite a bit of volatility. And with the rally we've seen over the last 11 weeks, we've added over $386 billion to the market cap. I think Tesla will also reach the $1 trillion market cap soon. We'll see if we get a little dip first before it continues to pump, or the exact opposite happens. Overall, I'm still very, very excited, very bullish for Tesla, even after what we've been seeing. So for the short term, I think that there is an uptrend over here being respected. It is possible to go a little bit higher towards this 258 area. We'll have to see if this breaks or not. If it does break, we'll be looking for a potential push for 262. So make sure you watch that very carefully if we break 258 or not. And if we end up dipping, watch 250 as key support and also 246. To me, it looks like it might try to push a little bit higher than maybe shuffle a bit. I do find that to be very probable. I say that because, once again, when it comes to earnings and such, that's going to cause the real move. And I'm not really too concerned about this. It is possibly pushed a little bit higher than we just continue to see some sideways price action. Once again, it doesn't really scare me, doesn't really worry me too much. As far as SPY goes, we are trying to break out as well, but let me call out something. we have this tough resistance to be watching for on the 30 minutes time frame. We're still testing and fighting our 200 EMA. So watch 555.2. If we break 55.2, this resistance right over here, uh, then we can start pushing past the 200 EMA and look for 558. If we fail to break past 555.2 and we reject, watch 553.63. If we lose 553.63, we'll be dipping back down towards 551.8. If that fills us, we have this gap to fill. So we'll see if this is an inverse head and shoulders in a breakout or if we're about to get a rug pull. Just watch how it reacts to 555.2. That's going to be key for SPY if we break that or not. Nvidia is looking a little bit more bullish. We have a nice double bottom like structure. If we break past 124, that's going to be a key resistance. I think that's then we could come up to fill this gap around 126. If we fail to do so, look at 122 as support and see what kind of reaction we get. But overall, it looks more bullish. Bitcoin is also trying to trade sideways here. We're barely holding 66,000, so we'll see if that holds. If we lose this, we'll be coming down to where this wick is at 65,800. We're looking a little bit weaker on Bitcoin, so just be careful, guys. This could be a warning for the markets. For the QQQ, we're attempting to rebound. We got to see if we could break past 483. If that breaks, watch 485, then 488. If we fail to hold 480, look for a dip all the way back down to about 478. And if that breaks, we turn bearish to fill this gap. So watch and see if we could crack 483 and 485. I'll be very, very patient nonetheless. For Aapl has a nice head and shoulders like structure. We could actually dip a little bit lower. It's just shuffling between 122 and 124. I think it's going to continue to shuffle for some time. I'm seeing a little bit of weakness on the charts, so I'm not really seeing a whole lot. But if we lose 122, I will turn more bearish. So I see a lot of sideways price action, possibly risk of downside, depending on how things go. For Palantir is once again trading sideways, not really doing a whole lot, and may continue to just shuffle in this 28 area. So I do presume that's the most likely possibility. For a few more, we also have Coinbase. Coinbase is on a bit of an uptrend, but watch support at 260. If we lose this, there's going to be a rug pull back down to 253. If we hold this, we could try to rebound. So watch and see if we could break past 268 or not. If we break that, 272 is coming, but I'm just going to be kind of careful because there's a bearish divergence developing. And if we fail to hold 260, there could be a little dip. So I'm a little bit mindful of that. Amazon still trending sideways. We need to break past 185 to turn bullish. If we fail to do so, there could be a rejection. We're just stuck within a range between 182 and 185. So watch and see which way it breaks. But I'm just saying that there is a bullish pattern, but there's no sign of a breakout yet. It's just trading sideways. Meta has a nice looking wedge that's forming. We need to try to break 490 to hit 495. If we lose 485, there could be a dip coming all the way back down towards 480. So give it some time. For Microsoft, you have a nice inverse head and shoulders. If we break past 444, look for a push all the way up towards 446. If we lose 441.8, we'll be dipping back down towards this gap fill. We are trying to push. It looks more bullish, but it depends if we can break 444.4 or not. So watch for that on Microsoft and see if we get the break or not. And Google also has a nice bullish structure. If we break past 185, we could be looking for 188. Might try to push higher. It's kind of shuffling right now, so I'm going to be kind of patient with this one. So just be mindful of that, guys. For SPX and ES, it's the same setup. We are seeing some upside potential for these, but we haven't officially broken structure yet. So we're just waiting to see if we break some key resistance levels. I've seen inverse head and shoulders on ES. We'll have to see if we break past the 5620s or not. So be patient, guys. The market has upside potential, but we have to break key resistance. As far as Tesla goes, we have to watch and see if Tesla could continue as well. In my personal opinion, it is possible Tesla grabs liquidity, then eventually tries to push up for 258, but then we might start shuffling after that. I'm not too worried about it. What matters more will be earnings, so just wait for that. Until then, thank you all so much for listening. Have a great day, guys, and peace out.